Good morning, retail traders. This is Washboardjim with a sneaky snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And today we're going to talk about a broadening out megaphone expansion pattern that people need to get more familiar with. A lot of new traders don't know much about this pattern, but it can be very volatile and you can get a lot of money on this trade if you know where to find the entries and the exits. So we're going to talk about this pattern. And one of the members in the room called this out, Randy and Magnificent. So we're going to go ahead and give you a shout out. So this is the megaphone pattern. It can go up, down, and then go straight out. But and I teach a strategy about the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can trade with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. You might make a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might take a nosedive. But that's the pattern that we're going to be looking at, and you could type in megaphone expansion pattern, broadening formation, and you'll come up with a lot of different charts, and they can kind of illustrate, and you can get some kind of eye on how they work. That's how I do when I'm looking at a pattern. I'll Google it, look at a lot of charts, and then start implementing it in my strategy. So we have the megaphone right here, and I'm going to go ahead and erase this on out. We've had a pretty good little sell-off this week. In fact, let's look at the weekly. We had that big pullback. Then we had another little good day here where we traded to scalp all the way up to the 1, 2, 3. Then at the end of the day, the puts came in, and then the next day showed up. We had another sell-off right at open on the SPX. So it broke out, hit the 63, and then pulled on 63 EMA, and then pulled on back and created a double bottom where the 9 EMA crossed over the 21, and it allowed us for a nice little breakout to the upside for the rest of the day. I knew pretty much we've had a pretty tight week, pretty rough week, real major sell-offs, and that was a good idea to go ahead and jump in this trade and run it on up. So we're up here at the top, and one of the members in the room, Randy, recognized, or he brought it to my attention, the expansion pattern, which we talk about in the room all day. Plus, this pattern also showed head and shoulders, which is a bearish rotation to the downside. So you had two confirmations on this trade to go ahead and buy the put. So we're going to draw them in right now. Take your trend line. We're going to magnify this up. So here at the end of the day, or middle of the day, we started noticing the head and shoulders, which is right there. So I'm going to keep that all the way across, straight across on this trade. And then I know that we had that little head and shoulders, and that right shoulder hit twice. The right shoulder, left shoulder hit twice, which had caused it to rotate back down to the 200 SMA and the 200 EMA. So then we get the bottom of this candle right here and run it on down to that candle. And there's your broadening out expansion megaphone pattern with the head and shoulders up here for a reversal to the downside for an exit idea. And once you hit that 200 EMA, you know to get out of that trade. It can drop more, but that's a solid support. And I teach this in the room. So every pattern has a pivot point. And we're going to draw a price line all the way across that pivot point. And that's where this pullback is right here. And when you notice, we almost hit it up here on the way back down. So there's your formation of the megaphone. We kept bearish as long as you stayed under that pivot point. Then we started reverse with a 1, 2, 3. And I teach this also in the room, the 1, 2, 3 strategy to recognize a reversal. So it's that 1, 2, 3, and then we had another megaphone. Said megaphone, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not always like that. I mean, they can just go on forever, and bounce up and down, up and down, and up down. But this is a major resistance level when you hit that triple top out of the snake. There's your snake right there. So she pulled back and hit the 200 for an exit idea. Then she bounced up and hit the 63 EMA, the 200 EMA, and pulled on back, and we called this trade out to the bottom of this megaphone and got out of the trade. I got out a little bit too soon, way too soon. If I'd have held that trade, I could have made about $1,500 on this call, because she just really started tanking right there. And then we had them soldiers, and she came in and run back up to the 63 or the 200. Then we ended the day with more puts. But by this time, I was pretty much wore out, and I had I just done one trade. I was out most of the day. But that's your megaphone expansion pattern. They're very volatile. When the market's in volatile state, you'll start seeing a lot more of these patterns. And to me, it's nothing but a great thing. To others, they don't recognize them. So, but I just wanted to point this out. This is a great pattern to learn. And I wish everybody a good coming 2025. I'm going to be doing some videos on my favorite stocks of 2025. I might do 3 at a sector at a time. And, I'll still be bullish in the chips, in the AI. I'll be bullish on Tesla. And I got a few others that I'm going to be pulling up that I think would be long shots to trade, to go long. And I'll probably swing once we have the correction in the market, probably after Trump gets in the office and a few things come out on how things are going to be. Because I think we're still going to have a lot of volatility in this market. There's a lot of bears out there that are fat cats that don't like Trump. I love Trump. We had a great economy during Trump. We had no inflation. We had no wars. And hopefully we can stop the human trafficking over the border, cut back on the wars, and bring down inflation. Drill, baby, drill. And have a great day, retail traders. This is the Sneaky Snake trading strategy, where I talk about chart patterns. Today was chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And have a great day.